Do you want your mic to sound like this? Well, this is a $30 mic, so everyone can do it. I'll go through several tips that could help you set up your streaming mic properly and practically make any mic sound like a studio mic. Now, the most important factors to consider are mic placement and positioning, and more importantly, streaming software settings and adding filters, which will be the main focus of our video today. Keep in mind that these tips should work with any microphone you have, so you don't have to worry about spending hundreds of dollars on professional mics. I will leave the timestamps in the description so you can check the part that interests you most. Let's start with mic placement and positioning. One of the most obvious things you probably already know is that the closer the mic is to your mouth, the louder the sound is. So the first thing you need to do is find a balanced distance depending on the mic type and quality. You don't want to set it far because it might be too silent, and on the other hand, you don't want to eat the microphone because the sound it produces could be very loud. Now, since I've already mentioned mic type, one very important factor to consider is the polar pattern type of your microphone. The polar pattern type basically determines from what direction your microphone picks up the sound from its surrounding. There are 6 main types of microphone polar patterns: omnidirectional, bidirectional, unidirectional, but who gives a damn about the names, and here's an image that illustrates it better. Understanding your microphone's polar pattern can help you position it properly. For example, most USB streaming mics are cardioid, which means that they pick up the sound mostly from the front side and a bit on the sides, while the back doesn't pick up any noise. This means you can place the front side towards your mouth and back side towards your keyboard, and it won't pick up the keyboard noise, or it might pick up just a little bit of it. On the other hand, you might have seen a lot of streamers who hold their mics upside down. That is because they use a microphone that can pick up the noise from both front and back. So they position the mic upside down so it wouldn't pick up the typing noise. Now that I've explained the mic placement and positioning, let's move on to something more advanced. In the next part, I'm going to explain how you can use different settings in your streaming software to make your microphone sound great on stream. For this purpose, I will use OBS Studio, since it is one of the most popular streaming software. However, keep in mind that most of what I will say can be applied to Streamlabs as well as other streaming software. Before we move on, you need to add your microphone to the audio mixer in OBS. To do that, simply go to Settings over here, choose the audio, and under Global Audio Devices, under Mic Auxiliary Audio, choose your microphone. Now, my mic is already set here, but you just pick yours and you will be ready to go further. Now, you want to be able to hear yourself through the headphones, because we will be adding filters and doing some little changes step by step, and you want to hear those changes, to hear what suits you and your microphone best. So to be able to hear yourself through the headphones, you would click on this little cog icon over here, go to Advanced Audio Properties, and under Mic Auxiliary here, under Audio Monitoring, from the drop-down menu, pick Monitor and Output. Click on that and you're set to go. Now that your mic is ready to use, the next step is to add certain audio filters that can help to improve the sound quality of your streams. The first filter I want to show you is the compressor. What it does is it brings your microphone level to a similar level no matter how loud or quiet your voice is. To add this filter, simply click on the cog icon again here, go to Filters, and on this plus here, and choose Compressor. Now you can change the name, but there's no need for that right now, so just add it here. Depending on your microphone, you will need to adjust these settings that may seem a bit complicated, but trust me, they're very, very simple. The only 2 settings you need to worry about are threshold and output gain over here, threshold and output. Threshold helps you reduce the volume when you make a loud noise or when something falls next to your mic. Ideally, you should adjust it so that whenever you yell or make loud noises, the audio level doesn't go full red line. Your aim should be the end of yellow and a bit into the red line. Okay, so let's adjust the threshold. Take a look at this line over here. So when you make a loud noise like this, hey, it goes right to the red line. Or when you clap, It goes all the way here, but you don't want that. You don't want your viewers to feel attacked by a sudden, very loud sound. So we need to play with the threshold slider a little bit to adjust that, so even when you make a loud noise, it doesn't go all the way into the red. So let's play a little. Look at this now. But when you move the threshold slider to the left and you clap, it doesn't go to the red line anymore. Now, as I said, you want to aim somewhere here between the end of the yellow and the beginning of the red line. So we went a little bit too far left. And we will move it a little bit back, like this. Hey! Not enough. There you go. Maybe a little bit more. Play with the slider, adjust it. Hey! And you have your moment. When it comes to the output gain, it's useful to boost up the volume when you talk quietly. Again, aim it somewhere between the end of the yellow and beginning of the red line. Look at this now. When we're talking really quietly, like this, it's not loud enough to be heard, probably. So you need to play with the slider, and even when you talk very, very quietly, you will get to the sweet spot over here. Can you hear that? I'm talking very quietly now, but it's hitting this spot, the end of the yellow and the beginning of the red line. So you have our moment. Here it is. So even when you talk really, really quiet or when you're loud, you're hitting the same spot. And this is the compressor. Now, by boosting the audio level when the voice is quieter, the compressor also boosted all the surrounding noise you produce, including the keyboard typing. To deal with this issue, you can simply add another very useful filter, which is expander. This filter will let you customize the way you want your microphone to pick up and let the sound through from a certain level. In simpler words, background noise that is lower than a certain level will not be picked up by your microphone. To add the expander filter, go to this cog icon again, click on the filters, on the plus over here, choose the expander, change the name or don't, add it here. And now to set up the expander filter so that you can start the adjustments, you would need to do the following. Set the ratio to 4:1, then threshold slider, move it all the way to the left, add attack to 2 milliseconds, and then the release to 100, and leave the output gain as is. When threshold is at 0, every sound you make will trigger the microphone. For example, listen to this. Keyboard sounds will be picked up and we don't want that. So to remove the keyboard sounds from being picked up, you will need to play with the threshold. Pick the threshold slider and move it to the right. Listen and look at this over here. Here we have it. Even when I'm typing, the sound isn't being picked up. Once you notice that the mic has stopped picking up the noise in the audio mixer down below, you can stop adjusting the threshold. But, just like before, this could cause another issue, such as the first letter of the words you say being cut off. But you can always fiddle with the expander to fix that. Simply reduce the threshold again or decrease the ratio until you are satisfied. Now, if you want to make your voice sound more natural rather than being heard like you're talking on the phone, you can use the VST filter. This filter isn't included in the OBS per se, so you will need to download it. You can get it from Vox & Go website, the link will be in the description below. Here it is. After you download the VST, install it anywhere. It doesn't have to be in the same spot as the OBS. OBS will automatically find it on its own. To add VST to OBS, simply repeat the steps like the two previous filters. Go to Filters, click on the plus sign over here and choose the VST plugin. Once you've added the VST filter, what you want to do is click on the drop-down menu here, choose Marvel GEQ, and then open Plugin Interface. A new window will pop up, and here you will be able to play with the sliders. If you don't like the way you set it, you can just double-click on the slider and it will reset. You can also choose one of the presets here, just activate it, and you will see the changes in this. If you don't like it, again, you can reset all of them with one button. You can also play around and choose and make your own presets, or just set one as default to your liking, to your microphone and your stream requirements, and you're ready to go. Another possible issue you might encounter, especially when using a cheaper mic, is the annoying hissing background noise. Worry not, you can easily get rid of it by adding the noise suppression filter. To do that, simply click on the cog icon again, go to filters on the plus over here and choose noise suppression. Add it and you're done with this one. The last filter I want to talk about today is limiter. It basically does the same thing as compressor, but limiter is used for very extreme situations, when the background noise can be so sudden and unexpected that you need to order your mic not to pick it up. For example, if you're playing the game Die in-game, get mad and hit your desk with your hand, or a dog starts barking. As before, all you want to do is click on the cog, go to filters, on the plus, choose the limiter here, add it, and then play around with the threshold. Look at this. You want to move it a little bit to the left. And there you have it. These were our tips on how to make any microphone sound great on stream. If you're looking for a great microphone for streaming, make sure to click the link in the description and check out our streaming equipment page. There you will find good selection of streaming mics and other equipment. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out our next videos.